Hello, this is the Tradesight U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Wednesday, the 19th of August, 2015. Hope you're having a good trading week. It's been a little slow, obviously. We'll talk about that in a minute. And just to give you sort of the short version of this, I suspect that for the next, the remainder of this month, and that is to say, this is going on Wednesday, the 19th. So we've got the rest of this week, 3 more days. We'll talk about what's left. Next week in particular, probably going to be really slow. And then the sad thing is Labor Day this year is not until the 7th of September. It's the latest it can possibly be. So there's actually another week wedged in there that'll be questionable. Usually it's after Labor Day things come back, but it's the end of August where things were slow. So hopefully it's 2 weeks and not 3. We'll look at that in a minute. So here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. Not much progress. When we look at the intraday action, you'll see what that meant for today. He had the S&P down 5, just giving back a small piece of the prior day's range. And that kept us, you can see a very tiny candle today inside of the prior day's range. NASDAQ 100 down 24. Still inside of the yesterday's range, of course, and right back under that 10-day moving average. The SOX down 13. That is a new closing low for the year, actually since Thanksgiving, basically, on the SOX. I remember Thanksgiving is when all this flatness started. If you go back and look at the, here's the ES again. You know, the week of Thanksgiving is where the blue line at the flat blue line at 2062.50 started. So that's a new closing low since that for the SOX. Biotech's down 38.38. That's not a new closing low, of course. So not as troubling a sign there. Google down 5 and change. Apple down 66 cents. Not really a big deal there. The VIX climbed 77 cents in this very flat action. Hard to believe that it did. When you see the intraday action, you realize how flat it was. Crude oil bounced just a bit, closing at 42.62. That's under the 10-day moving average. We've been under that since the last week of June. Gold down $1 after bouncing recently. The trend closed at 0.86. That brings the 10-day moving average down to 1. That's the lowest it's been in a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, we're not really. Yeah, we're going to be dropping off some lower numbers over the next few days. Remember, it's when the trend's 10-day moving average, the blue line, gets under 0.85 that you have a problem. We're not there. Advanced decline ratio after 2 days, well in the green. We closed with NASDAQ more over 1,000. We have 1,056 more decliners than advancers. So that is obviously a negative. And the 2 days that we've had in the last week where that was positive was only positive by 600. Here's the real problem. NASDAQ volume, 1.35 billion shares or so. It was really 1.3 at the close, right at the close, and then some extra volume prints. So again, this is really, really poor action. I talked about this yesterday, but this has to be stressed for people who are new to trading. This is where you get yourself in trouble. Here's last year. You can see August right in the middle. You can see the last 10 days or so of August volume dropped under 1.4 billion shares. That's what happens when we get into that end of summer. That's the biggest 2 weeks of vacation right there. So you kind of got to suffer through. And just the key is, you know, if you look back after these 2 weeks and you lost money, you shouldn't have been trading. So unless you can be really picky about your entry points, and we had some stuff today that worked. You got to be really picky about those entry points and manage your trades well, and do not overtrade. It's always important to not overtrade, but it's more so when the market volume is this weak. First part of August, we had 2 or 3 really nice trading days, solid, easy days in each of the 2 weeks. You know, now with the volume drying up like this, you know, our top pick today was EXPD. It triggered long. It worked. Didn't work a lot, but it worked enough. You know, you got to be able to wait for those and take them when they go. But hopefully the question becomes, do we go back to work on September 1st, where we basically have a week before Labor Day, or do we have to sit through 3 weeks of this year because Labor Day is so late? That's what's kind of the unknown at the moment. All right, let's look at 5-minute candles on the ES. You can see the very small gap down, back and forth flat action, reached up just to fill the gap. The high tick of the day was the value area high. Can't see that on this chart, but it was. And then we rolled over. Then in the afternoon, we came down. We touched the pivot, tried to sweep under it and couldn't. All very flat. I mean, it felt like the market wasn't even ticking by the end of the day. And then there's a big candle right at the close and the 3 candles after. Really, really, really poor action overall. And the problem is, too, it's so non-technical. I mean, you're just drifting. And that's what we don't like to see. All right, so what do we have for economic data coming out here? The big information is the CPI. Wednesday morning. That's one of our big three each month. We've got the NBA mortgage index before that. We've got crude oil inventories now are into the market, and we release the minutes of the last Fed meeting at 2 p.m. Eastern time in the afternoon. CPI is enough that it might get things going. The key to remember here for the rest of this week is that this is options expiration week. Friday is monthly options expiration. It is not a quarterly expiration, but it is the third Friday of the month. Therefore, it's the monthly expiration. Don't even show up for work on Friday, or if you do, it's going to be for the first hour or so, and that's it. It's just going to be that bad. It'll probably be the worst day in all this period here. But there still could be a small options unraveling move to occur. That would either happen Wednesday or Thursday, not Friday. And Thursday, we do have a lot of data. So if they hold it for Thursday, may be the exciting day of the week. Let's hope for something Wednesday here post CPI. But I wouldn't expect anything massive. We will be in the lab as usual calling it. Charts brought to you by eSignal. If you do find these videos useful, please like them on YouTube. It does help us out. Have a great rest of your trading week.